Oral questions. Questions. Honorable Andrew Scheer.
Let's be clear, Trump's tariffs on Canada are wrong, unjustified, and attack on our workers and our economy. Now, while other countries have got deals to lower their tariffs, not only has the PM failed to do that, but he's got Canada's tariffs doubled on steel and aluminum. He promised he was the man with the plan. He can't even get a deal. Our workers are terrified about losing their jobs, and he promised that he'd collect $20 billion in retaliatory tariffs, but then secretly drop those tariffs to zero during the campaign. If he's so sure that he's still going to collect $20 billion, why not table a budget and prove it to Canadians?
There you go. Give us the budget, man.
Mr. Speaker, the American tariffs, the new tariffs on steel and aluminum, are unlawful, unjustified, and illogical. I agree with the member. And that is why, one of the reasons why we have retaliatory tariffs on over $90 billion worth of U.S. goods. We are in intensive negotiations with the Americans and in parallel preparing reprisals if those negotiations do not succeed.
Wow, he sucks at question period.
Well, one way to deal with the Americans is from a position of strength. But now the Prime Minister is saying that he won't even approve a new pipeline unless there is consensus. This is already unraveling. The radical BC Premier says no pipeline through his province. There's not even consensus in the Liberal cabinet, with top ministers committed to killing oil and gas projects. The vast majority of Canadians don't want to give a veto to politicians. They want to be less dependent on the Americans and to earn more powerful paychecks from selling our oil and gas around the world. Will the Prime Minister show some leadership and commit to approving a pipeline today?
Well said. Put some W's down for Mr. Scheer.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians from Shawinigan to Saskatoon and the premiers and Prime Minister that represent them have agreed on the importance of building projects of national interest. The consensus that's required includes a consensus with Indigenous peoples, something that the members opposite do not have. We will stand with Indigenous Canadians. We will build pipelines, energy infrastructure in the future of this great country.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
If photo ops and phony rhetoric actually got things done in this country, then Justin Trudeau would still be Prime Minister.
Yup.
But in all seriousness, the Liberals' $500 billion in new spending without a budget will make inflation worse. The PM said that he wants to be judged by prices at the grocery store. So let's look at those prices. The verdict is in. Beef up 34%, apples up 18%, coffee up 9%. Will the Prime Minister listen to Parliament and table a budget that controls spending, lowers taxes, and cuts inflation so Canadians can afford to put food on the table?
There you go, man.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased for the first time to hear the members opposite talk about lowering taxes.
That's right.
In front of this House. First time in my hearing, Mr. Speaker, before the House is a tax cut for 22 million Canadians up to $840. They want their support.
Since this government was elected, has dreamed of a bill for big national projects. But in the meantime, what we stopped talking about since the election was the fact that President Trump was doubling tariffs on aluminum and on steel, threatening thousands of jobs. What will this government do? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we need to do several things at the same time. First, we have to build our economy, build it with legislation with just one Canadian economy instead of 13. We have to build it with national projects, and we have to negotiate with the Americans. And these negotiations are at a very delicate moment right now, but we are going to win, just like the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers will. The Honourable Member for Belle Chambly. yesterday.
It's all up to the bloc, man, if we get a vote in on confidence.
Ministers said what their agenda was when they were asked questions. But the government was elected because there was a crisis. The Prime Minister even said he wouldn't be here if there was no crisis. So we have to negotiate with Americans, yes, but we also have to immediately provide support to companies in the steel and aluminum sector. What are you doing? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. I'd like to remind the member that he has to ask his question through the chair. The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I've just said, we have to do several things at the same time. We are doing negotiations with Americans, yes, of course, but at the same time, we're providing support for companies in the steel, aluminum sector with funding and support for workers and several other types of support with public supply, like the minister mentioned yesterday. The honourable member for Belleuil-Chambly. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, these industrial sectors in question, who we've spoken to, have not heard of any support in any way. Yet we have put forward a wage subsidy bill inspired from what we had during the pandemic. So employers are very concerned right now, and they don't want to lose expertise they have. And we're talking about dozens and thousands of jobs that are at stake. Is the Prime Minister ready to rapidly establish a wage subsidy program for companies? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we have already strengthened employment insurance, and we have made a commitment to give all of the money raised from counter tariffs to the workers and the companies most affected by these unjustified and illegal U.S. tariffs.
Trump's 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum are wrong and an unjustified attack on our Canadian economy. This means that manufacturers in Middlesex, London are cutting shifts, delaying investment, and relocating to the U.S. These tariffs are a direct threat to Canadian jobs and our economic sovereignty. He promised Canadians he would defend us. He said he had a plan, but in responding to the U.S., this Prime Minister's elbows have gone limp. So I asked the Prime Minister, was the entire Liberal campaign just theatre? Yeah.
Where's the elbows up?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Speaker, I would agree with the colleague. It's wrong. It's very wrong. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, we had one of our colleagues in Washington yesterday to fight for Canadians, to fight for our workers, to fight for our industry. This is not theater. This is action, Mr. Speaker. On this side of the House, we know what makes a difference is to fight, to protect our workers, to protect our industry, and to build this Canada with Canadian steel, Canadian aluminum, Canadian workers. Mr. Speaker, we're going to build Canada strong together.
The honourable member for Middlesex, London.
Canadians don't need more photo ops. They need somebody to fight for them and actually get results. During the campaign, Trump actually endorsed the Liberal Prime Minister, and it's no wonder why. The Prime Minister said his government would collect $20 billion from U.S. tariffs. That was his big talking point. But when the pressure came, he went to his friend Trump and quietly dropped all those tariffs, leaving our steel and aluminum workers blindsided and betrayed. So, Mr. Speaker, will the Liberals listen to Parliament, be transparent, and table a budget so that Canadians can see how much, if anything, was ever collected from the so-called elbows-up tariffs?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, instead of talking down Canada, she should be elbow up with us, Mr. Speaker. This is about making sure that as
She's not talking down Canada.
This House should stand united, Mr. Speaker. This is about our nation. We're fighting a trade war. Everyone in this House have a responsibility to fight for Canadian workers, fight for Canadian industry, to build Canada strong. Mr. Speaker, we get it on this side of the House. I hope on the other side they get it because Canadians get it at home.
Give me a break.